let's talk about sports because we've talked about serious stuff enough. Well, until we get to our next topic.
This one is, kind of serious somewhat still. But if you guys recall from our past episode, Jay Black had an amazing point. He was worried that if Eric Reid got his spot back into the league, he wasn't going to protest.
So we talk about this a lot because Jay Black still watches football.
And so do I. Probably. Thank you.
My bestie, she still watches
Giants
football.
Fan? Nope, Cowboys. Oh, that's even worse. Goodness gracious. We don't have a Steelers fan anywhere? No? Y'all mess with the Steelers? Wow. Okay.
And no Falcons either.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I don't fool with the Falcons either. Who, the Steelers? Thank you.
So I don't know if you guys can hear them because they refuse to do what we asked them to do and come up to the mic and talk. But they've been shouting out their football teams, of which I don't have one. But I do support the Giants because I'm from New Jersey and that's where they are. Okay, so that's just because I live there and I love my place where I was born and raised.
Yeah, they ain't going to the playoffs at all.
But because of the NFL protests, Eric Reid, Colin Kaepernick lost their jobs.
Yeah, well, now Eric Reid, he has his job
Eric Reid has been rehired by the NFL, and he plays for the
Carolina Panthers. Shout out to the Panthers. Respect him for that.
He's still kneeling.
Yes. His first game, he took a knee. And I was mind blown by it because the fact that he does have everything to lose at this moment. And he still took a knee. Like, I respect that so much. So the fact that he got rehired and, people, they would say that he only did the protest because he was about to lose his job anyway. So the fact that he did it after he got his job back, I respect that so much, man. Like, I respect it.
So the question I have for people is, does that make you dislike the Panthers any more or any less?
Or actually like the Panthers even more?
Do you think they gain fans? Because
oh, yes.
They just got a new owner, too.
Right, exactly.
Diddy was trying to bound. Diddy and Stephen Curry was trying to bound. So I think it's a good
So is the new owner black?
Nah, it's a white.
He's white.
When is somebody black going to buy an NFL team?
They can't.
Enough money.
And look, even if you do have enough, what people have to understand, the NFL's logo is a shield. And it's actually a fraternity of all the owners. So they have to vote you in. So this is like a real country club. So I think what people, they have to understand, even with Diddy being worth, almost $1 billion, you have to be voted into that. Like, you just don't say, well, I have X amount of dollars, so I can just own a team. No, you have to be voted into
So they're deliberately blackballing black people from owning an NFL team, and all the black people are still supporting this place. Is that what's happening?
Black people don't necessarily support the NFL. We just like sports.
Okay.
And I know that sounds crazy, but we just like
every
sports.
week I struggle to understand why.
Because sports is relatable on so many things.
Even to the point to where you say they deliberately pushing black people out.
Yeah.
Think about what was the chick named Rachel
Dolezal?
She was white and she trying to push the black black
agenda,
movement,
right?
but we wanted her out. It's like we doing the same
because
thing
she's
on our
not
end.
Black.
Okay, they doing the same. That's the NFL.
Huh?
No, he's saying that's their thing.
Yeah, that's their thing.
That's what they own.
Is their thing, so they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Just like we can do whatever we want with the NAACP.
That's
if we
true.
don't want a white person in there, we're not gonna put her in there.
That's true.
If they don't want no black person.
They not gonna do it.
They don't have to put us in.
That's fair. And again,
Can
we're
you
talking
say
about,
what you gotta say up here, ma'am?
You said no?
What did she say?
It'll
Come
be
tell
easy.
on her.
She's a spokesperson. We can take
Tell on her what she said. Tasha, tell, please. They can't hear you. Can you come up here, please? Oh, Lord.
Hey, we can bring the mic to her.
Because she supports the black people. Why are you hating on her if she's for the black people?
I think that people hate on it, not me, but people in general, because she's pretending. And also, your struggle, y'all as black women, y'all have it bad. So if somebody's trying to compare their struggle or trying to be you, then people, they can take that straight to heart. So, I mean, I get it.
I'm okay with her trying to, wanting to absorb our culture. Or
Right.
wanting to do the things that we do.
But when she's trying to appropriate it, that's what makes it different.
She's trying to present herself as if she is.
There you go.
I think that's the part of it. I feel like
That is so. She's
impersonating.
right.
There you go.
It's
And
kind of like blackface. We don't like
I was just, and see, I think what makes her so dangerous sometimes is she can be white if she wants to be.
Right.
Y'all can't be white if you want to be.
That's
yeah,
the
she can wake up in the morning and take all that off, take out the weave. And
That's
all that
the
stuff.
problem that
So
I
that's
have
it.
with what's that rapper's name? He always wins #1 rapper. He's got tats on his face.
You talking
little
about
chubby
Post
dude.
Malone?
Post Malone.
I like Post Malone though.
That's the problem I have with Post Malone. What's his name? The country singer, and then he was a rapper. Now he's back to country singing
Kid
again.
Rock? I think.
Kid Rock.
Yeah.
He was also at the thing. We're gonna talk about what happened with Kanye West in
Yeah.
a minute. But that's the problem that I have with people like that, because once they've done making all the money they can from black culture, then they're like, no more black stuff. Hey,
I've got
let
enough.
me go back to
Miley Cyrus, she did that. You remember when she was twerking and stuff, and then now she has a white boyfriend. Now she's a country singer.
She's totally.
But 2012, she was black.
But she
Yeah.
wasn't black. You know what happened? Jay-Z had one line in one song. He said, "Twerk, Molly, twerk." And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, everybody loved Miley Cyrus,
She was the
and
face of
she was the
twerking.
face of twerking.
Yeah.
And everywhere she went, she was twerking with animals and all of that.
Yeah.
So I think that we did that to her.
Yeah.
So I mean,
That's fair.
I get it, but Rachel Dolezal clearly has some sort of mental illness, because she legit lied and said she had a black parent.
Yeah. But I think what she did is what most white people think subconsciously. They want to be black. But she actually said, I'm going to actually go through this. And she became black, because even how we dress, what we do, hip-hop was voted the #1 music genre.
Hip-hop is the
Everything.
#1 music
Yeah,
genre
like-
in this country, in
Yeah.
this world probably.
Mhm.
And we need to just recognize it as such and honor the founders and honor the people that are a part of the culture, period.
That's it. And again, I think that white people have this, I don't know if it's a jealousy, for some it is, but they want to be black. Most white people do. And I think it's this subconscious thing. But Rachel, she actually just followed through with it. She became black. Well, she didn't actually become black, but she tried to physically change herself.
I want to know, so why, when someone who is not black and is other color do something for the black community, we don't like them because they're not black,
Right,
but they're
I
being
feel what you're saying.
positive in our community,
Yeah.
but we just don't like
They
them
ain't
because
black.
they're not black.
And look, honestly, just to take it a step further, even if they're light skinned, it's like, oh, like she thinks that she's prettier than everybody, or he thinks that he's prettier than all the other guys. So
I think
yeah,
it starts
like,
with
I
us
get it.
first. I think
Yeah.
it starts with us. It's not so much Rachel having such of a problem. It's that we have a problem with her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She wanted to be something that she wasn't. She wanted to be black, but she wasn't doing anything wrong with it.
Right.
It wasn't like she was going and robbing and saying I was a black woman they did, or doing anything negative. She was saying I'm black, but she was
wanna be
being
black.
positive in the community to be black, to try to say she was black, to maybe try
Yeah.
to fit in.
Right. So do you think that us as black people, that we have our own problem where
Yes.
we can't accept people?
We
because
have problems
we're
with
always
darker
afraid.
skinned people and
Yeah.
within our own race and lighter skinned people. We have,
And nobody's
don't
perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we have problems
that's
with
it.
people, women or men, or being
Yeah.
mixed race. So we have
There you
problems
go.
within our own race versus Rachel coming along doing something positive but saying, "Oh, I'm black." You
Yeah.
know, okay, you want to be black and you're not black. We can see that, but
Mm-hmm.
she didn't do anything wrong other than say she was black. She was still
Right.
trying to help us in our own community.
Right.
I mean, I kind of agree, because at some point we've all said it's going to take a white person to step up and be the voice and say, yo, this is what's going on and we need to hear them out. But you ain't got to pretend to be black
I
to
think
do
too,
that.
though, I think too, white people that's pushing our agenda, they doing it more genuinely because they got to do way more research. I feel
Right,
like even with
right.
hip hop,
They gotta take a step.
black people, black artists, they take hip hop for granted. We don't study hip hop like we should.
Yeah.
But a white person come in, they studying hip hop, they going back and listening to all this shit because they got to work that much harder to be accepted.
There you
and
go.
I feel like when a white person like Rachel, she probably done did all her research,
All
all
her
these type of
research.
classes.
And she
Like
has.
She done read James
You gotta
Baldwin
respect
books.
it.
Yeah,
But
that's
this
it.
is my thing. This is my thing. I understand she's pushing the black agenda and she loves the culture, but why can't you be white and do that?
Right.
Like what I said, I think that a lot of white people have this subconscious fantasy of wanting to be black.
I agree with you there.
And I think that they don't admit it, but it's true. Because, I mean, even if how, like, all you guys dress, there's so many, like, if a white woman saw you guys, she could be dressed differently, but she would envy you guys just by, how you look, all that stuff. And I think with Rachel, her case, she just took it like a step further and said, F it.
I am black.
Since I want to be black, I'm going to be
I'm
black.
going to be black.
Most white women want to be black, but they just
They
aren't
won't admit
afraid
that,
to
though.
admit it. Exactly. But she just admitted it. But how she wanted to just proclaim that blackness, I felt like she did it in the wrong way.
Right. And
I
what
do.
So
she
I
did
think
was
that's
it
what's
was
wrong.
sort of, and she probably may not have. She might have thought that she was like doing more for us, but, really
But
it
she was actually hurting it.
disrespectful.
Exactly.
It was a disrespectful act because she could be black, she could be like Bro Derek, she could wear
Right.
her braids to the back, all that. But don't try to claim our
Blackness.
ethnicity. That's the only thing. Don't claim
There
the
you go.
whole
Because
big
it comes
picture.
with a struggle. It comes with
Right.
And that's what I was
That
saying.
she knows
It comes
nothing
with
about.
And that's what I
right.
was saying.
Right.
She
Like-
she read the book. She read the history book. So
Right.
maybe she felt a deep connection, but you wasn't there. You wasn't
Experiencing
present.
it.
You didn't experience
Right.
yourself
Right.
like
right,
that.
and the oil is expensive. So you can be us, but you got to take everything that comes with it. You can't just do it on the outside, but don't really have it on the inside.
And see, I think that it was kind of like disrespectful somewhat when she said that she's transracial, just like how people can be transgender. And I'm like, you can't try to like categorize.
They go that word. They're gonna use that word out. That's that trans for
Transracial.
everything.
Right.
They're gonna
And
use
see,
that word out.
again, you guys said it perfectly. You can read on it. You can do your research, due diligence, all that cool stuff. But at the end of the day, you're not a black woman.
Right.
And this is something that y'all have experienced ever since you came into this planet. So it's like you can't just decide to become black and now you've already experienced everything and, you've already gone through it. So I get it. And I feel it, of us not being accepting, but with that, like, we can't accept that, because if we can accept that, then before you know it, we'll see all these transracial white people trying to act black. Right. So,
Transracial,
yeah.
Because they want the black attributes, but they don't want the black
Struggles, no.
So they want our booties. They want
There you
our
go.
legs,
There you
lips.
go.
They want our lips.
But not
Our
everything
men,
else
they
comes
want
with
our
it.
men.
But you don't want our struggles. You don't want our black.
And the men too.
Our bad credit. You don't want us trying to can't get nothing,
job.
can't get the job we want.
Yeah.
You don't want any of that. You don't want high blood pressure. You know what I'm saying? You don't want nothing.
Yeah,
But you
and the
want
stress.
the braids and the hair and the booty and the lips. And like I said, I think you can't take pieces of it. You need the whole package.
The whole package.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's scary because, like what you said, when it comes to the breasts or like all the features and even the skin, how they try to tan all the time.
They tan
that
all the
stuff,
time.
all that stuff. And again, it's scary because if we look at the Kardashians or all these other white women, how they try to look like black women and they get praised for that.
Yeah.
So
Let me play devil's advocate for a
Okay,
second.
come on. Okay.
Because if you go to the Shade Room or any of these places online and you look at the pictures of the celebrities, they all look like middle-aged white women. The black women.
how they have like blonde hair, blue contacts.
Blue contact, pointy nose,
So-
pointy
It's
chin.
both ways though. It's both
look
ways.
the same. We
It's both
all
ways.
we all take pieces of each other to try to create this look
Perfect
that
person.
everyone is trying to achieve. It's like you have it's like everybody has. There's no more black hairline. There's no more black nothing. You got the whole wig. You got the whole shebang.
No job.
You got the whole lace front. You
Your
ain't
hair
got
not out nowhere.
None of your features that make you inherently black, which is like your kinkiness, your
Full nose.
no
all that.
full nose. It's
Nope,
all
'cause you got-
contour.
'cause we got
Yeah,
contour
contour.
to
It's
death.
all the lighter
That's it.
foundation, the
Yep.
long hair down. Listen,
Yeah.
everybody is creating this. I don't know what that is,
Mm-hmm.
but the people that are leaning more toward like the black. Okay, I haven't had cornrows in over 20 years since I was maybe in my early 20s. The last time I had cornrows, I just got cornrows. And my experience with just having these cornrows has been so different because I like wear weaves and wigs in the summertime because it's just more. It's easier to manage when you have to work and you do this, you do that. So I got my hair braided, baby. When I got to work.
Everybody wanted to.
Everybody,
touch
like,
and feel
how long did that
gosh.
take? What is that? And then there was just this uncomfortableness that comes with it, and it's just like,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
and
'Cause
even
you know,
men,
yeah.
even
How
men.
I was gonna ask you, because
Men.
Kim, how they
I
even
get
approach
a different
How you doing,
attention.
sister? That's what they
I
call
get
you.
a different.
They try to call you
yes.
sis. Yep.
I
We were
get
just talking about that in
different attention
class.
from men
Yep.
because of this, and now I'm just like so Afrocentric, and they think
Right.
that I like burn incense.
It's so woke and deep, and they
I'm
try to.
so woke
yeah,
and so
that's
deep.
it.
Had a conversation about it was somebody had a conversation, but it was like I guess women that got weave in their hair, and women that
Yes.
got braids in their hair. They kind
They
of
How
get
they're treated.
different. They get
Yeah.
different. I get. It's really weird. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
like I knew when I got to work. No matter what you do to your hair, that's different. You always get a comment, whether you just didn't do your hair and put a ponytail in, or whether you got a full
They gonna say
blowout.
something. They gonna say
Somebody's
something.
gonna say something. But when I got my cornrows, it was just kind of like, oh, okay. You know what I
she
mean?
real,
Like,
she real black now.
She's black.
she's
That's it.
real black.
Yeah, that's it.
And but you know
That's
it
it.
also.
Oh, hi, Kimberly.
They want-
Yeah.
yes.
That's it.
Okay. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I just,
Yeah.
it was weird. And then, I went to, when I was at A3C, that was kind of like the first thing I went to. I was by myself. You know
All
what I'm
black
saying?
people, pretty much.
All black people, pretty
Yeah.
much. And everybody, hey, what's up, sister? Oh, you know what I mean? You got, you got all of that. So, I was
Yeah.
just like, yeah, I'm not that, I'm, you know what I mean? It's all good. Like, I'm here to see the Wu-Tang. I'm not here to sell oil.
Incense and
It's
incense.
okay. I'm good. You know what I mean? But
Oh, man.
it's just a different kind of attention that you get. So now,
That's real.
you just kind of everyone says don't judge, and I don't care. Wherever you go, whatever you look like, immediately you're gonna get judged. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you see, actually, Kim Kardashian had this same braid style.
It's called boxer braids.
So what I did was, whenever somebody at work came to me about my hairstyle, I told them I got it like Kim Kardashian.
Yep.
There you
It was
go.
accepted.
I don't think that's, listen, I don't think that's right that you gotta get
Explain.
acceptance like from a reference to a white person to get acceptance.
But
like,
that was the only way. This is the thing.
It's the society that we live in, though.
It's 2018, and for some reason, they still don't get weave. I don't know why, but they don't get it. So what I do is, I say, you know what? Kim Kardashian, Khloe, and the other one,
Kylie.
they all do this.
Hindu. Yeah.
They have hair clips. They have extensions.
Yeah.
And they also have cornrows.
It's accepted.
That's the only way I get them to get it. I don't know.
accepted.
It's just like black culture is not as easily accepted, and even research to you, because you can see no one looks deeply into African American culture, even though it's embedded in the fiber of this country.
Pop
You know what I
culture,
mean?
yes.
It's not pop culture. It's actually American culture. That is the story. That is the history
Yeah.
of this country. We were brought here. The enslavement, the this, the that, the cornrows, so we could work and we didn't have to come home. Like, it's all a part of the history of this country, but that's a
Yeah.
part that they don't want to deal with. And that's why we're always having to go through the things that we go through. The voting, the this, the that, because it's like we've gotten to a place where no one is willing to dig deep into the history and deal with it.
Yep.
It's like they just want to say, let's just act like that never happened, because if they don't, then they're going to have to deal with it and confront it and handle it.
Yep.
But for hundreds of years, everybody just shoves it under the rug, and the rug is getting so high that we're just not, it's just gotten to a boiling
getting worse.
point.
Yeah.
And especially in the South, because I don't remember really having it to deal with it this much in the North, because in the North, their racism is handled in a different way. It's handled
Very
with like
schematic, probably.
housing and discrimination housing and employment housing. It's not really handled like here, where it's like in your face, like
No, it's very
niggers,
hidden in the North. right?
Confederate
Yeah,
flags
yeah,
and all that.
yeah.
That's not what we deal with up there. We deal with, a different type of discrimination, which makes us work harder, not physically but mentally, because now we have to go over and above at
Outsmart you.
school.
Yeah.
We have to go over and above at work, because
Yeah.
they're trying to discriminate against you psychologically. It's not
Yeah.
as much like in your face.
Physical.
Like when
Yeah.
I moved, I live in Cobb County. I tell people this all the time.
Yeah. Cobb is
And
white.
Cobb is white.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when I walked to the store one day, and I guess, I walk to the store every day just because I think I need to walk because I'm fat, right? So I walked to the store instead of driving. So I guess this guy that lives in my neighborhood saw this. So he's like, around this time every day, this black girl is walking around alone. So now I'm walking down the street one day, and he drives his truck. He's like, he's hauling ass, and you hear it because it's a pickup truck.
That's wild.
He got his Confederate flag waving in the back. Like, I said, oh, no, he didn't. Oh, no, he didn't. So I'm like recording him because he's going back and forth now.
Oh, wow.
I said, baby, it is not 1965. I'm good. Like, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not scared of you.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean shit to me.
Yeah.
But intimidation is a tool
That's what they
that
do.
they've been using
Yeah.
for all this time. And symbolism. And that's
Yeah.
why, the taking down of the flags and the taking down of the
Statues.
statues was very important here in the South specifically, because we don't have that. So anyway,